Today we're going to be looking at this. It's the brand new 2019 Safari Ltd Stegosaurus. You can find the item featured in today's review and more at everythingdinosaur.com. Check out their site today. If you've been following the channel, we recently had an unboxing of Safari Ltd 2019 goodies, and this was one of them. We've also reviewed the Pteranodon and the Spinosaurus. Check out those videos down below if you haven't already. But without further ado, let's crack this one out of its bag. So there's just a little bit of bubble wrap to protect those tail spikes. Here we have the 2019 Stegosaurus out of its packaging. Now I have to say, I'm not amazingly impressed with this figure. I think the sculpt is actually very nice indeed. I think it's quite a nice detailed figure, but for me the paint job doesn't live up to what I'd really like it to be. I think maybe some of the airbrushing has been overdone. There's some brown paint on the feet that we'll get into. But for me, this doesn't appeal as much as the other two. Mainly the Pteranodon is my favourite out of the three new figures. So let's take a closer look at this guy. I want to start off first of all with a wider look at the figure. They've used airbrushing on one side of this Stegosaurus, and I think it's to kind of make it look like it's got some sort of lighting effect going on. It's almost like an orangey hue like you'd have in a sunset maybe. But for me, it's a little bit heavy-handed, more on this side than the other side. The other side's a little bit more sympathetic, but on this side it's very, very heavy-handed. I applied this brown paint on the feet, and I assume this is supposed to be weathering. I don't know, I really don't know. But again, just feels a little heavy-handed on mine, and it might be that I've got you know, maybe one that has more problems than the others, because this looks much nicer on this side. That said, this is a very nice head sculpt. I really like the detail on this one, and they've really made the eyes look quite naturalistic by seating them with a black line, similar to what Papo does. I think it's lacking a little bit of pigment just to make those eyes pop. But the actual sculpt itself is very nice, and they've used a similar dark line in the beak there to bring out all the detail. As we move down the neck, you can see there's lots of nice sculpted creases and scales underneath. The plates on the back feel quite rounded to me, and the paint job a little bit simple. You can see they've done some nice airbrushing, a nice gradation of different colours, and you can see that sort of sunset effect coming in. You can see the plates there again, nicely sculpted, nice musculature coming through here, the scapula coming through here, and then you can see the musculature in the forelimbs there. There's a better look at that brown paint, the mud. I just think it just looks a little bit too heavy-handed, but I can see what they were going for. Underneath of the feet have been sculpted, some lovely creases and folds hanging down here, the skin sagging across the torso. Broader scales across the belly, and of course all the details from Safari Ltd. You can see the hips coming through there, nice musculature in the leg, nice creases and folds. Again, there's that brown paint. I don't know whether I just got a very generous amount, a generous dollop of brown paint. It might be better on others, so I'd like to hear if you guys pick this one up, how yours looks. Nice airbrushing in the center of here, again a little bit heavy-handed, and these little stripes coming in from the outside. As we move into the tail, nice creases running along here as we go into those tail spikes. And again, nice sculpted creases going all the way along here as we join up with this back leg. Here we go, nice bulbous torso. As we move back into that head sculpt. Okay, so just how big is this figure? You're looking at about 8.5 inches long, which is about 22 centimeters. In terms of height, you're looking at about 4 inches, which is about 10 centimeters. In terms of width, I'm going to go hip to the end of the tail. You're looking at about 4 inches, about 10 centimeters. Scale comparison time. Here's the recently reviewed 2019 Pteranodon. You can see how these two scale up next to each other. Next, here's the figure we reviewed in the last video. It's the aquatic looking Spinosaurus, again from Safari Ltd. If you haven't seen that video, link is down below. But you can see this one dwarfs the Stegosaurus. And lastly, here's the Stegosaurus next to our good friend, it's Off-Color Alan. And you can can see that he looks a little bit oversized next to this Stegosaurus. Thanks, Alan. There he goes, he's leaving the review table. And that actually rounds up our look at the 2019 Safari Ltd box. My favourite is the Pteranodon. I just love the paint job on this one. Such a contrast in terms of quality with the Stegosaurus here. Although this one boasts a fairly good sculpt, that paint job for me is just too heavy-handed. I really also like the Spinosaurus, the way it's got a very aquatic pose and all the sculpted detail giving it a very crocodilian look. But yeah, standout piece for me out of this whole box is the Pteranodon. Okay guys, be sure to check out the other videos of all of these figures. In the meantime, rate, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Now you've seen it reviewed, why not pick up your own at everythingdinosaur.com. Link is in the description.